I just wanted to make a quick video, have a quick discussion about the difference between UX and UI and why I think that design and this artful way of looking at the world is for everyone and can be applied to all areas of life, even if it's not quote unquote part of a design job. This has probably been one of the biggest takeaways and motivators for me to continue on in these courses, in my learnings, in my internships, and really embracing this idea of like what I've been looking for so long has kind of been in this design world, and why I think it's such a good fit for me. But even before I get to do this work, I'm seeing what I'm learning affect the more technical jobs that I'm in now, or the coffee shop job that I help manage people and relate to people and think about their experience on the job. Like, I never would have thought that thinking, that my design internship, where I am working and thinking about like a digital product, could help me when I wake up in the morning and I have to go, help run a coffee shop. And maybe that's obvious, but it took me a second to make that connection and realize that as I've been going through a career, both as a musician and now as like a technical writer, almost an educator, I have seen that the persuasive writing, the organization of how I took in information, organized it, and then relayed it was not keeping up with the responsibilities that I was given on the job, with the level of work that I wanted to complete, with just this growing sense that I wanted to communicate better and I didn't know how to get that done. And in the couple of years that I've been in this more technical role, I found ways to realize, like, okay, that's not the way to say this. Maybe this is the way to say this. And through a lot of trial and error, I have found these systems that work for me. It wasn't until I got into exploring the design world, learning about the user experience and all the research that goes into that I was starting to realize, like, oh, people want to do this all the time. They have so many systems to tap into when the need arises that helps them organize their thoughts, that helps them take one piece of information and funnel it through so many different ways of looking at it to make sure that you keep your biases in check, that you are looking at it from a perspective beyond your own, and organize it along the way so you don't lose valuable information in the process. And as I've been learning about these things, be it through numerous courses, including course careers, be it the internship at my job where I get to work with real life designers, like professionals, and learning from them, observing them, and getting to mimic them, I've seen it make a direct impact on all the writing that I do, all the communication that I make. And that's why I think, this is literally for everyone. And even though my focus right now is to build this portfolio, is to build this Farm Finder app for my portfolio, I am starting to take some of these ideas and apply it to even my personal life. Like, what's my experience in the day? Where is something breaking down? And how can I find that out? One of the great examples is kind of where I am at this portfolio. The last video was showing me wrapping up the empathy map. The empathy map couldn't have been possible without the user interviews. And approaching the user interviews with a lot of curiosity and putting my best effort into thinking of as many questions I could and to encompass this problem that we're trying to solve, then gave me a lot of data to work with. I then funnel that through the empathy map. What are people thinking? What are people feeling? What do they see? What judgments do they make from that? That's one way to look at it. And then that leads us into this new way to filter through this information. And in the next video I make, I am already starting to set up a journey map. But this allows us to filter that information. We had our interview, which if we're doing it in our own life, that could be, just journaling, like brain dump. Identify a problem in your life. For me, it's sleeping. I struggle so much with sleeping. And as I work on that and try to improve my sleep, I'm going to take myself through my design experience, right? Like, I could, for example, just brain dump anything I can think of reasons I'm not sleeping well, things that help me sleep, things that don't help me sleep, any trend, like just get brain dump. And then I do an empathy map. I take everything I've written about my thoughts and beliefs and experiences with sleep and filter them through. What do I think? What do I feel? What do I say? What do I do? And then that's valuable, but that's only one way to organize it. That doesn't help us identify, like, where is something breaking down? Is it a belief that is like inhibiting me from getting enough sleep or being able to fall asleep? Is it the physical environment that's not conducive? Where is the breakdown happening? And that's where the user journey comes in. And with having those kind of bite-sized pieces all organized, we now get to place them along this user journey. And I'll go into more details, but one of the beautiful things that this allows is I am one person and I'm trying to design this app for two different people. The farmer who needs to use the app to raise awareness of what they're selling, and then the shopper who needs to find out where these farmers markets are and what will be there when they show up. And both those experiences, while I fall into the shopper experience here, so I do have some bias towards that. I have to make sure my bias is not present and take what I've learned from the interviews and put them into what happens before or that moment they become aware of, I have this need. I need to either find fresh food at a farmer's market, I have a desire to do that, or I have fresh food to sell and I think a farmer's market would be the best place for me. Their question is, what do I do next? My question is, I know my sleep sucks and I need to fix it. What do I do next? And from that perspective of going through the journey and taking their experiences and breaking it down from awareness to like that self-awareness to considering the options that are presented to them, to finally making a decision, to committing to that decision in the long term, we can see like where is there room for improvement along that journey. And as I dive into this for the portfolio, it's a beautiful reminder that I can use this in my personal life, like in that example for sleep, but also in my other job in technical writing. I'm trying to communicate something and I have to take myself out of my point of view, someone who got to spend hours digging in to understand this technical thing, and realize I'm writing it for someone who needs to know this in 5 minutes and then move on. And if I take my writing through this user process, it will help me identify, okay, where exactly is this information needed, so that I'm giving only the information that's needed at exactly the right time. So looking into design systems, into the user experience, into design research can benefit anyone, regardless of what role you play, what career you have. And it's been such a benefit to me just in so many ways that I wanted to make sure that I communicate that on this platform, that art, that design, that this way of approaching this world is for everyone and for all of life, not just these traditional systems of design. I'm very excited to explore more, get more hands-on as I apply this in my life, in my work, and in this portfolio. And I'll see you in the next video.